Welcome back, football fans. Big Al here on this Friday, Football Friday. It's October 23rd, 2020, and we are going to continue our Week 7 preview with the remaining games on the schedule. We're talking all the Sunday afternoon games, the Sunday night game, and the Monday night game. And there is a bit of a change on the schedule as the Tampa Bay Las Vegas game, which was slated to air on Sunday Night Football, that has since been moved to Fox on Sunday afternoon at 4:05 Eastern Time. And then flexed into Sunday Night Football will be the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. So now that game will be on Sunday night as the Bucks and Raiders will again be seen at 4:05 Eastern Time on select Fox stations. Alright, so that's it. Let's jump right into the remainder of the Week 7 preview, starting off with an AFC East tilt pitting the 4-2 Buffalo Bills and the 0-6 New York Jets. Sunday, 1 p.m. on CBS. As always, we'll take a look at the statistical numbers for each team, starting off with the visiting Bills. Offensively, Buffalo ranks 15th in the NFL at 369.2 yards per game. They're at 92.2 rushing yards per game. That's 27th. They're still among the league leaders in passing yards. They average 277 per game through the air. That's number 6. And in points, they are 17th with 26 points per game. The Bills defensively allow 387.5 yards a game. That puts them 23rd. Rush yards allowed is 131.3. That's 25th. Passing yards allowed is 256.2 per game. That's 24th. And scoring defense, they're allowing 28 points a game, which is 21st. Third down completions on offense, the Bills, they lead the NFL in third down conversions at 56.2%. Fourth down conversions on offense, they are one of 3 teams who have not missed a fourth down conversion. They're 100%. They're tied with the Cardinals and Titans. Third down defense, Buffalo allows their opponents to convert on 53.5% of third downs. That's 30th in the NFL. And they are tied for 10th in fourth down conversions allowed at 50%. Average time of possession for the Bills is 30 minutes and 9 seconds, which is 18th. The New York Jets, on the other hand, they're pretty much terrible in every category, especially on offense. New York ranks number 30 in total yards at 276.7 per game. They are 21st in rushing at 105.3. They put up 171.3 passing yards a game and 12.5 points per game, both dead last in the NFL. The defense is decent, not great. They're 20th in yards allowed at 378.8. They're also number 20 in rush yards allowed at 125.5. They entered the week tied with Philadelphia for 20th. The Jets are 23rd in passing yards allowed, 253.3 yards per game. And they give up 30.8 points per game. That's 29th. Third down conversions on offense, they're the worst at 30.2%. Fourth down conversions on offense, they're at 20%, which is number 30. Their opponents convert 41.4% of their third down conversions. That ties the Falcons for 13th. And they allow their opponents 100% on fourth down. They're one of 5 teams to do that. Average time of possession for the New York Jets, 27 minutes and 24 seconds, which is 31st. in that category. Current line as of 4 p.m. Eastern Time Friday is Buffalo minus 10.5, over under at 46. I have the Bills winning this game 31-10, and I'm also picking Buffalo to cover the 10.5 points because the Jets are a total dumpster fire at this point. Next game up is an NFC South Division tilt as the 3-3 Carolina Panthers visit the 3-2 New Orleans Saints. That's Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Looking at the numbers on the Carolina Panthers, first off, they are number 11 in total yards on offense at 383.5 yards per game. Their rushing yards is 16th in the league at 116.8. Passing yards, 266.7. That's good for 9th. And scoring offense is 23 points a game, which is 23rd. Defensively, the Panthers allow 340.5 yards per game, which is 11th. 124.7 rush yards allowed. That puts them 18th. Tough team to pass against. They allow only 218.8 passing yards per game. That's number 7. And in scoring defense, the Panthers allow 23.5 points a game, which ranks them 13th. Third down conversions on offense, the Panthers are at 44.4%, which puts them at 13th. Fourth down conversions on offense is 57.1%. They're tied with 3 other teams for 20th. The Panthers allow their opponents to convert 50.7% of their third downs. That's 29th in the NFL. And 100% on fourth down. Tied for 28th. Average time of possession for the Panthers is 32 minutes and 14 seconds. That's number 3 in the NFL. Only the Packers and Steelers have a higher average time of possession than the Carolina Panthers. All right, taking a look at the New Orleans Saints. Offensively, they put up 378.4 yards per game, which ranks them at number 12. Rushing yards, they're middle of the pack at 115 per game. That's 18th. Passing yards is 263.4 per game. That's number 12. Scoring offense, 30.6 points per game. That puts them at number 5. Defensively, the Saints allow 337.4 yards per game. That's number 8. They are 6th in the league against the run, allowing 100.2 yards a game. They are 19th in passing yards allowed at 237.2. And scoring-wise, they give up 30 points a game. That's 24th. Third down offense, the Saints convert 40... Oh, I'm reading the wrong number. That's New England I was reading. They're towards the top. 48.5% conversions on third down. That's 4th in the league. Fourth down conversions, they're towards the middle at 66.7%, tied with Baltimore for 15th. The Saints allowed their opponents to convert 48.6% of their third down conversions. That is 26th. And fourth down defense for the Saints is 77.8%, tied with Houston for 24th. Average time of possession for the Saints is towards the middle, 30 minutes and 4 seconds. That's 19th. All right, line in this game is New Orleans -7, over-under is set at 51. I picked New Orleans to win this game 31-26, but I think the Panthers can keep this close. Therefore, I have Carolina covering the 7 points. All right, here's another divisional matchup from the AFC North. The 4-2 Cleveland Browns, off to their best start since, 2007. They travel to Cincinnati to face the Bengals, who come in with a 1-4-1 record. That's Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Looking at the numbers on the visiting Cleveland Browns, they scored. They put up 358.8 yards a game. That's 19th in total yards. The Browns have the top-rated rushing attack in football, averaging 169.5 rush yards per game. But they're near the bottom as far as passing yards go, 189.3. That's 29th. Point scoring is 27.2 points per game. That puts them at number 12. Defensively, the Browns are 19th in yards allowed at 365.7. They are a very stingy defense against the run, allowing 94 yards per game. That's number 4. Passing yards is also towards the bottom. They allow 271.7 per game, which is 27th. Points per game is also towards the bottom. 31.2 points allowed per game. That is number 30 in the NFL and dead last among all AFC teams. Third down conversions on offense, the Browns are at 39.2%. That puts them at number 25. Fourth down conversions on offense, they're towards the bottom here also at 30%, tied with Jacksonville for 28th. The Browns defensively allow their opponents to convert 44.7% of third down attempts. That's 21st. Fourth down conversions defensively, the Browns give up 90.9%. Not good. That's 27th. Average time of possession for the Browns is just about to the middle, a little past the middle, 30 minutes and 41 seconds. That's number 12. As for the Cincinnati Bengals, offensively they put up 343.3 yards a game, which ranks them 25th. Rushing yards is 101.8. That's 24th. Passing yards, 241.5. That ties them with the Arizona Cardinals for 18th. And in scoring offense is 21.5 points a game, which is number 26 in the league. Defensively, the Bengals allow 394.7 yards per game, which is also 25th in the league. Rushing yards allowed is 142.3. That's 27th. Pass yards allowed is 252.3. That puts them at 22nd. And scoring defense, the Bengals give up 26.2 points a game, which is 17th. So they're basically middle of the road as far as score defense is concerned. Third down conversions offensively, the Bengals are not great. They're around 36%, which puts them at number 28. Fourth down conversions, they're one of the best teams. 90.9% conversions on third down. That's 4th in the NFL. They allow their opponents to convert on 45.7% of third downs. That's 22nd. And on fourth down conversions, they give up 33.3%, tying them with the division rival Ravens for 4th. Average time of possession for the Cincinnati Bengals is also among the league leaders at 32 minutes and 10 seconds, putting them at number 4 in the NFL. Line in this game is Cleveland -3, over-unders 50.5. Straight up, I'm picking the Browns to win 27-20, and I have them covering the 3 points. All right, now we're going to take a look at another divisional matchup, this one from the NFC East, or as many has been calling it this year, the NFC Least. The 2-4 Dallas Cowboys, who entered Week 7 as the division leaders, traveled to D.C. to face the Washington Football Team with a 1-5 record. Taking a look at numbers for both teams, Total yards, the Dallas Cowboys still lead the league at 464 yards per game, whereas Washington is dead last at 275.3. They came into the week tied with the New York Giants for 31st. Rushing yards offensively, both teams are in the bottom 10. Dallas has 105 rush yards per game, that's 23rd. Washington, the worst rushing team statistically in the NFL at 82.2 yards per game. The Cowboys also lead the league in passing yards at 359 per game, whereas Washington is towards the bottom at 193.2, putting them 28th. Scoring offense, the Cowboys are at 28.8 points per game. That's enough to put them in the top 10. Washington averages 18 points a game, which is 30th. Only the New York teams have scored fewer points on average entering Week 7 than the Washington football team. And defensively, it's like these two teams are worlds apart. The Cowboys are 27th in total defense at 410 yards per game allowed, whereas Washington is near the top at 337 yards allowed, putting them number 6. Neither team is good against the run. Washington ranks 24th in rush defense at 130 yards per game. Dallas is 31st at 173.3. Only the Houston Texans allow more rush yards per game than the Cowboys. Passing yards. Washington is at 207 yards allowed per game. That's second in the NFL, trailing only the Colts. Dallas is towards the middle, 236.7. That's 18th. And in scoring defense, the Cowboys giving up a league worst 36.3 points per game. Gave up 38 on Monday night to Arizona. Washington is allowing 27 points per game. That ties them with the Seahawks for 18th. All right. Third down conversions on offense. Dallas is at 45.3%. That puts them in 12th. Washington's at 34.2%, which is 30th. And on fourth down, looks like both teams are pretty much in the middle of these rankings. Washington hits 70% of their fourth down attempt, that's 14th. Dallas 58.3%, which is 19th. Third down defense. The advantage here would go to the Washington football team, allowing their opponents to convert 42.7% of their third downs. That's 17th. Dallas is 27th at 48.8%. And fourth down conversions on defense, Dallas has given up 100%, tying them with 4 other teams for 28th. Washington allows 62.5% conversions on fourth down, which is 18th. Average time of possession is 28 minutes, 25 seconds for Washington. That's 24th. 27 minutes, 37 seconds for Dallas. That's 29th. All right, as of 11 a.m. Pacific time, this game was at a pick'em. The over-under was set at 44.5. I think Washington can get some offense going against this bad Dallas defense. And I say they win this game 24-20. I have yet to pick my against the spread pick, but I think it will be Washington. No matter what happens, I got Washington to win straight up. And I'll just go ahead and say Washington will cover the point spread if there is one before game time. All right, we reached our first non-divisional game of the week. The 2-3 Detroit Lions at the 1-5 Atlanta Falcons. Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. All right, looking at the offensive numbers for both teams. The Atlanta Falcons average 403.2 yards in total offense per game. That's number 4 in the NFL. The Lions are towards the bottom at 347.8 yards per game, putting them at number 24. Rushing yards favored the Lions, although they're both evenly matched on that portion of the ball. The Lions are 15th in rushing at 117.4. Atlanta is 19th at an even 112. The Atlanta Falcons have the edge in passing yards. They're number 2 in the league at 291.2 pass yards per game, while the Lions sit 22nd at 230.4. And scoring is very, very close with these two teams. The Falcons average 27 points a game, which is 13th. The Lions 26.6 points per game, which is 15th. Defensively, the Detroit Lions have the better defense in terms of total yards. 379 yards allowed. That's 21st. Where the Falcons are 31st at 432.5. Only Seattle has allowed more yards than Atlanta. All right, rushing yards, the Falcons have Atlanta has a pretty good defense against the run. They allow 97.2 yards a game, which is number 5. Detroit, even after their stellar defensive play against Jacksonville, is still 29th in rushing yards allowed at 145. Pass yards allowed, the Lions sit at 15th with 234 yards allowed, and the Falcons are 31st at 335.3. And then both teams are towards the bottom in scoring defense. Detroit averages 28.6 points allowed per game, which is 22nd. Atlanta 30.7 points, which puts them 28th. Third down conversions favored the Atlanta Falcons. They're at 43%. That's 16th. The Lions, 39.4%, which is 23rd. Fourth down conversions. The Lions are one of the best teams in this department at 85.7%, tying them with the Steelers for 5th. And the Falcons at 57.1%. They are tied with 3 other teams for 20th. All right, third down defense advantage goes to the Falcons at 41.4%, tying them with the Jets for 13th. The Lions are at 48.3%, which is 24th. And in fourth down defense, that also favors Atlanta. They're at 44.4%. That ties them for 8th with the LA Rams, while the Lions allow 57.1% conversions on fourth down, on them at number 15. All right. Average time of possession is 30 minutes and 58 seconds for the Falcons. That's 9th in the league. 29 minutes, 38 seconds for the Lions. That's number 21. Atlanta is the favorite in this game as of late Friday morning. They were a 2.5 point favorite going in. Over under is set at 54.5. And I have little to no confidence in these picks, both straight up and against the spread in this game. I'm taking Atlanta to win this game 23-21, but I've got Detroit barely covering the 2.5 points as the road underdog. All right. Next up is our first non-conference game of the week. The Green Bay Packers at 4-1, fresh off of last week's whooping at the hands of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They travel to Houston to face the 1-5 Texans and quarterback Deshaun Watson. Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern on Fox. All right, taking a look at the statistical numbers for both teams. The Packers by far have the better offense. They're number 7 in total yards at 396.6 per game. Number 7 in rushing yards at 139.4. Passing wise, they are number 14 in the league at 257.2. And they are the third highest scoring team on average in the NFL, putting up 32.4 points per game. The Houston Texans offense is 17th in total yards at 368. 31st in rushing yards at 85.8. They're near the top of the league as far as passing yards, 282.2. That's good enough to put them third. And scoring, the Texans average 24.3 points a game, which is number 21. All right, taking a look at the defensive numbers now for both teams, starting off with the Green Bay Packers. They are 14th in total yards at 347.4. 15th in rushing yards allowed at 116.2. 14th in passing yards allowed at 231.2. And in scoring, they allow 27.8 points a game, which is number 20. The Texans are at or towards the bottom in all of these categories. Houston is 30th in total yards at 423. Dead last in rushing, so this is the worst rush defense in the NFL at 177.5 rushing yards allowed per game. They are number 21 against the pass, giving up 245.5 yards per. And they allow 30.3 points per game, which puts them at number 26. All right, the Green Bay Packers, third down conversions on offense is 48.4%. This puts them in a virtual tie for fourth with the Saints. Third down defense for Green Bay is 41.5%. That's 15th. Fourth down offense for the Packers, they are converting 57.1%, tied with three other teams for 20th. And fourth down defense, they allow 42.9%, which is number 7. As for the Houston Texans, third down on offense is 40.3%, that's number 21. Third down defense, 47%, 23rd. Fourth down on offense, 75%. They're tied for 9th with three other teams. And fourth downs defensively, they give up 77.8%, tying them with the Saints for 24th. Average time of possession, the Green Bay Packers lead the league in that department at 33 minutes, 47 seconds, while the Texans trail the league in this department at 26 minutes and 6 seconds. The line as of 11 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time Friday is Green Bay minus 3.5. The over-under is 57. Me, personally, I think this spread should be much higher than 3.5. I'm taking the Packers either way, 34-24, and I'm also taking them to cover the points. All right, next up is our game of the week. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Tennessee Titans. Both teams entering with perfect 5-0 records. So someone's going to lose here. That's Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Looking at the numbers for both teams, starting off with the Tennessee Titans. They are number 2 in total yards at 422 per game. Number 5 in rushing yards with 157.8. Passing yards, they're just about a top 10 team. They're at 264.2. That puts them 11th. And they can score. They lead the AFC in scoring on average at 32.8 points per game. Only Seattle averages more points. The Steelers, meanwhile, they average 358 yards of total offense per game. That puts them at number 21. They can run the ball too. They're at 136.8 rushing yards per game. That's number 9. Passing yards is near the bottom for the Steelers, 221.2. That puts them at number 24. And this team can also score. They average 31.2 points per game, putting them 4th in the league. All right. Defensively, the Pittsburgh Steelers are number 2 in total yards at 285.2 and number 2 in rushing yards allowed at 66.2. Passing yards, they're also pretty good. They're at 219. That puts them at number 8. And they allow 18.8 points per game, which is 3rd in the NFL. The Tennessee Titans, their defense is not as sharp as it was last year. 409.8 total yards allowed per game. That's number 26. They're also number 26 against the run at 137 yards allowed. They're 28th against the pass, surrendering 272.8 yards per game. And scoring defense, they're middle of the road at 25.2 points per game. That's number 15. All right. Taking a look at the Steelers. Third down offense is 46%. That's number 10. Third down defense is 42.7% or 42.6%. That's 16th. Fourth down offense, 85.7%, tied with the Lions for 5th. And fourth down defense, they're at 14.3%. That's number 2 in the NFL, trailing only the New England Patriots. All right, as for the Tennessee Titans on late down situations, they're at 48.3% on third down offense, number 6 in the league. They're dead last in third down defense, 57.8%. Fourth down offense is 100%. They're one of 3 teams with 100% completions on fourth down. And then fourth down defense is 66.7%. That ties them with the Bears and the Chiefs for 19th. All right, average time of possession is 33 minutes and 22 seconds for the Steelers. That's number 2 in the NFL. And 29 minutes, 21 seconds for the Tennessee Titans. That puts them 22nd. As of 11 a.m. Pacific time Friday, Tennessee was a 1-point favorite. The over-under was set at 51. But I think the Steelers have the more superior defense. And I think the team with the best defense will win this particular game. So I got Pittsburgh winning 28-24 and covering the 1 points. All right, this is the originally scheduled Sunday night game, now pushed into the late window. The 4-2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the 3-2 Las Vegas Raiders, Sunday at 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. Looking at the numbers for both teams, starting off with the Tampa Bay offense. They're at 358.2 yards per game, which is number 20. They're at 109.2 yards rushing, which is also number 20. They're at 249 passing yards, which ranks them at number 17. And in scoring, they're at 29.5 points per game, putting them number 8. The Las Vegas Raiders is just about a top 10 offense across the board. 399.4 yards of total offense per game. That's number 6. They're also in the top 10 as far as passing yards. 278.4 puts them 5th. And their 30.2 points per game puts them at number 6. The only part of their offense that didn't rank in the top 10 was rushing. They're at 121 yards per game, which puts them at 14th. So this is an above average offense that Tom Brady and the Pats will be facing on Sunday. All right, taking a look at defense, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lead the league in total defense and rushing defense, giving up 282 yards of total defense and allowing only 64.3 rushing yards. They're number 6 against the pass at 217.7 yards per game. And they're number 8 in scoring at 20.3 points per game. Whereas the Las Vegas Raiders, they're below average across every defensive category. They allow 393.6 yards per game, which puts them at number 24. 126.8 rush yards allowed, that's number 22. 266.8 passing yards per game, that's number 25. And they allowed 30.4 points a game, which is 27. All right, Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 18th in the league in converting third downs on offense at 41.6%. Their third down defense is 39%. That's number 11. Fourth downs on offense, the Bucs are at 75%, tied with 3 other teams for 9th. And fourth down defense is 40%. That's number 6. The Las Vegas Raiders, they can convert third downs. They're hitting 52.3% of their third down conversions. That's number 3. Third down defense, not good. 48.4%. That's 25th. Fourth down on offense, they're at 83.3%, which is number 7. And fourth down conversions on defense, they allow 60%, tied with the Cardinals for 16th. Average time of possession, 31 minutes, 58 seconds for Las Vegas. That's number 6. 30 minutes, 19 seconds for Tampa Bay. That's number 17. Spread, as I wrote it down earlier, is Tampa Bay -3, over-unders 53. I got the Bucs winning 30-17, and I also have them covering the 3 points. Now to part 2 of the CBS doubleheader. The 1-5 Jacksonville Jaguars visit the 1-4 Los Angeles Chargers. This is the first of the 4:25 p.m. games on CBS. Looking at the offenses for both teams. The Los Angeles Chargers average 390.2 yards a game, putting them at number 9. 122.4 rushing yards, that's number 12. 267.8 passing yards, that's number 8. But they're towards the bottom in scoring at 22 points a game. That puts them in 24th. Jacksonville, on the other hand, puts up 351.2 yards per game on offense. That's number 23. They're 29th in rushing at 89.3 yards per game. Passing yards is 261.8, which is 13th. And scoring's on the low end for the Jaguars as well, at 20.8 points per game, putting them at number 28. Defensively, the Chargers allow 380.6 yards a game. That's number 22. 107.6 rush yards per game, puts them in the top 10 at number 9. They're near the bottom against the pass, however, giving up 273 passing yards per game. That's number 29 and dead last in the AFC. And as far as points allowed, they're giving up 25 per game. That puts them at 14th. Jacksonville's defense allows 414.5 yards a game. That puts them at number 29. They're terrible against the run, 143.8. That's 28th. They're also terrible against the pass, allowing 270.7 passing yards per game. That puts them at number 26. And they're 25th in scoring at 30.2 points per game. Third down conversions on offense. The Chargers are at 47.9%, which puts them in a virtual tie with Jacksonville, who was also at 47.9%. That would tie virtually for 7th. Third down defense. The Chargers, 38.8%. That's number 10. Jacksonville's at 43.5%, putting them in a virtual tie with Philadelphia for 19th. Fourth down conversions on offense. A slight favorite to the Chargers, 33.3%. They're tied with Philadelphia in this area for 26th on fourth down conversions offensively, whereas Jacksonville at 30% is tied with the Cleveland Browns for 28th. Fourth down defense. And it looks like neither team's good. Jacksonville allows their opponents to convert 75% of their fourth downs. That ties the Colts for 22nd. And the Chargers are the last of the 5 teams to allow 100% conversions on fourth down. All right, average time of possession for both teams. The LA Chargers averaged 30 minutes and 42 seconds. That's number 11. Jacksonville's at 28 minutes and 4 seconds. Putting them at number 27. All right, the line is LA -7, over-unders 49. I got the Chargers winning this game 27-17, although Gardner Minshew should be able to throw against that secondary. I also have the Chargers covering the 7 points. All right, now we got an AFC Western Division tilt up in Denver as the 2-3 Broncos host the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs at 5-1. This game is at 4:25 Eastern Sunday on CBS. Taking a look at the offensive numbers, the Kansas City Chiefs in total yards ranked 3rd in the NFL at 417. While the Broncos are 29th at 305.2. Rushing yards advantage Chiefs, 140.3 per game. That's number 6. Denver is 25th at 101. Passing yards, Kansas City averages 276.7, putting them at number 7. Denver's at 204.2, not averaging 27, but ranking at number 27. And then scoring offense, the Chiefs are at 29.2 points per game. That puts them at number 9. The Broncos are near the bottom at 20 points per game. That's 29th. All right, defensively, in total yards, they're right next to each other. The Chiefs are 16th at 353.3 yards per game. The Broncos are 15th at 349.8. All right, rushing yards allowed. That advantage also goes to the Broncos. They are 13th against the run at 110.6 yards a game. The Chiefs are at 145.3. Pass yards allowed. That favors the Chiefs. They are 3rd in the league at 208 yards allowed, while the Broncos are 20th at 239.2. And then that brings you to scoring defense, and both teams are very close here too. Kansas City allows 21.2 points per game. That's number 9. Denver allows an even 22 points a game, tied with New England for 11. All right, third down conversions on offense. The Chiefs, 53.8%. That's number 2 in the NFL behind only Buffalo. Denver only converts about 36%. That puts them in a virtual tie with Cincinnati for 28th. Third down conversions on defense. The Chiefs allow 42.9%. That's 18th. Denver 48.8%, ranking them 27th. All right, fourth down conversions on offense. The Kansas City Chiefs come in at number 20 tied for number 20 at 57.1%. Denver has yet to convert a fourth down. They're at 0%. That's 30 seconds. Fourth down defense. Denver, 50%. That ties them with 3 other teams for 10th place. And then the Kansas City Chiefs defense on fourth down, surrendering 66.7%, tying them with Chicago and Tennessee for 19th. Average time of possession is 30 minutes, 23 seconds for the Chiefs. That's 15th. 29 minutes, 47 seconds for the Broncos, on them number 20. Current line is Kansas City -9, over unders 44.5. Giving the Chiefs the wins 27-21. But I have the home underdogs, the Broncos, covering the 9 points. Because I think Drew Lock can have a good game and keep it close. Otherwise, I think Kansas City will end up winning this game by double digits. But given the fact that this is a divisional game, they tend to be much closer. All right, the final Sunday afternoon game is the 3-3 San Francisco 49ers at the 2-3 New England Patriots. Sunday, 4:25 Eastern on CBS. Looking at the statistics for both teams. Total offense. The New England Patriots are 13th in the NFL at 374.4 yards per game. San Francisco just a few spots down at 16th, 368.5 yards per. The Patriots have the number 2 rushing attack in the league at 167.2 rush yards per game. Niners ground game's pretty good too, 127.8. That puts them 11th. All right, passing yards. The 49ers are 20th in the league at 240.7. New England is 25th at 207.2. And then scoring offense. Both are in the bottom half. San Francisco's 20th at 24.7 points per game, while New England's 25th at 21.8 points per game. And that's pretty low even for a Bill Belichick coach team. All right, defensively, both teams are in the top 10 in total defense. San Francisco is number 5 at 321 yards allowed. New England's number 9 at 339 yards allowed per game. All right. Rushing yards, the 49ers are 10th at 108.3. Patriots are 16th at 119.2. Passing yards, both are in the top 10 here as well. Niners are 5th at 212.7 yards allowed. Patriots are 9th at 219.8 yards allowed. And both teams right next to each other as far as scoring defense. Niners allow 21.7 points a game, which is 10th. The Patriots give up 22 points a game, tying them with Denver for 11th. Third down offense. Both the 49ers and Patriots are 19th and 20th respectively at 41.4% for San Francisco and an even 41% for New England. Third down defense, they're both pretty good. New England's number 4 in the league at 34.6%. San Francisco is number 8 at 37.3%. Fourth down offense. Patriots convert 71.4%, which puts them at number 13. The San Francisco 49ers are 16.7%, number 31, ahead of only the Broncos. And the Patriots have not allowed a fourth down conversion this year. So they're number 1 in fourth down defense. The 49ers are 14th at 55.6%. And average time of possession for both teams. San Francisco's at an even 32 minutes. That's number 5. New England is 31-26, and that's number 8. All right. Line is New England -2. Over under is at 44. I have the Patriots winning 26-20 and covering that modest spread. Now to the flexed in Sunday night game. The 5-0 Seattle Seahawks at the 4-2 Arizona Cardinals. Sunday night, 8:20 on NBC. Let's take a look at the statistical numbers for the Seahawks and the Cardinals. All right. Both are in the top 10 in total yards. Arizona is 5th at 402.5. Seattle is 8th at 395.8. The Cardinals have the number 4 ground attack in the NFL at 161 yards per game. Seattle is number 17 at 115.4. Seattle has the number 4 passing attack, averaging 280.4 yards per game, while the Cardinals are towards the middle at 241.5. They are tied with the Bengals for 18th. And scoring-wise, the Seattle Seahawks is the highest scoring team in the NFL on average at 33.8 points per game. Arizona is 11th at 27.7. As for defense, not exactly Seattle's strong suit, as they are dead last in the league in total yards at 471.2 and passing yards at 370.4. They are very solid against the run, however, allowing just 100.8 yards a game. That's number 7. And scoring-wise, the Seahawks give up 27 points, tied with the Washington football team for 18th. The Arizona Cardinals allow 346.2 yards per game. That puts them at number 13. Rushing yards allowed is 119.7. That's 17th. Passing yards allowed 226.5. This puts them at number 11. And scoring defense, they're at 18.7. That's number 2 in the NFL, behind only the Baltimore Ravens. Yes, the Arizona Cardinals are the number 2 scoring defense in the NFL. That is not a typo. Third down offense. The Cardinals convert 44%, tied with the New York Giants for 14th. Seattle is near the basement, 32.6%. That's 31 or 31st. Third down defense, the Cardinals are one of the best. 36.5%. That puts them at number 7. Seattle, conversely, is one of the worst at 50%. Putting them at number 28. Fourth down conversions on offense, Arizona has hit every single one. That's 100%, tying them with both the Bills and the Titans for the highest third down conversion rate in the league, or fourth down conversion rate in the league. Seattle's also pretty good with the fourth downs. They're 8th at 80%. Fourth down defense, Seattle allows 50%. They're tied with Philadelphia, Denver, and Buffalo for 10th. Arizona is at 60%, tied with Las Vegas for 16th. Average time of possession. Both teams are on the bottom end of the spectrum. The Cardinals average 28 minutes, 58 seconds time of possession per game. That's 23rd. Seattle is at 28 minutes and 21 seconds, putting them at number 26. Seattle is favored by 3. The over-under is 56. I'm going to pick the Seahawks to win 28-24, and they'll just barely cover the 3 points. And then you have Monday Night Football wrapping up Week 7. The 5-1 Chicago Bears bear down. They travel out west to face the 4-2 Los Angeles Rams. Monday night at 8:15 on ESPN. All right, looking at the offensive numbers first off for both teams. All right, total yards, the Los Angeles Rams are number 10 at 388.2. Chicago is 28th at 312.8. All right, rush yards. LA averages 135.2, enough to get them into the top 10. Chicago is also 28th in this department at 90 yards per game. LA averages 253 passing yards a game. That's number 15. The Chicago Bears are 23rd at 222.8. And scoring-wise, the Rams are 25.3 points per game. That's 19th, while the Bears are at 21.3 points a game, when I'm at number 27. All right. Defensively, Los Angeles is number 4 in total yards at 318.5. Chicago's also in the top 10 at 337.2. That puts them at number 7. Rush yards allowed. LA gives up 109. That ties them with the Ravens for 11th. The Chicago Bears allows 113. That's 14th in the league. So they're pretty close to each other as far as total yards allowed and rush yards allowed. They're also pretty close as far as passing yards allowed. LA is number 4 in the league at 209.5, while Chicago is 10th at 224.2. And then scoring-wise, they're also pretty close. So you look at these two defenses, they're evenly matched. LA gives up 19 points a game. That's number 5. Chicago is number 7 in points allowed at 19.3. Third down conversions offensively. LA hits 46.9%. That's number 9, while Chicago is 27th at 36.3%. Third down defense. Both are good. Elite even. Chicago is at 31.8% on third down defense. That's number 2 in the NFL. Los Angeles is at 35.6%. That's number 6. Fourth down conversions on offense. Chicago sits at number 18 at 60%. LA 24th, or tied for 24th with Minnesota at 50%. And then fourth down conversions on defense. LA is at 44.4%. They are tied with Atlanta for 8th. Chicago 66.7%, tied with Kansas City and Tennessee for 19th. Average time of possession is 30 minutes and 34 seconds for the Los Angeles Rams. That's number 13. The Chicago Bears just 1 second below them at 30 minutes and 33 seconds, putting them at number 14. Current spread is LA -6. Over-under is 45. But I've got the underdog Bears winning this game 21-17 and covering the 6 points. Off this week are the Baltimore Ravens at 5-1, the Indianapolis Colts at 4-2, the Miami Dolphins at 3-3, and the Minnesota Vikings at 1-5. And let's go give you the offensive numbers, the statistical numbers, I should say, for the 4 teams in the bye. Starting off with the offense. All right, so looking at the Baltimore Ravens, they are 26th in the league in total yards at 342.2. Number 3 in rushing at 164.3. 31st in passing yards at 177.8. And they are 7th in scoring at 29.8 points per game. The Indianapolis Colts are 18th in total yards at 363.2. 26th in rushing yards at 98. They are number 10 in passing yards, 265.2. And in scoring, the Colts scored 26.2 points per game. That's number 16. Now to the Miami Dolphins. 22nd in total yards at 354.3. They're also 22nd in rushing yards at 105.2. They're at 249.2 passing yards per game. That's number 16. And they average 26.7 points a game, which puts them 14th. And then the Minnesota Vikings offensively, 374.2 yards a game. That's number 14. Rushing yards is 139.2. That's number 8. Passing yards for the Vikings is 235 per game. That's number 21. And in scoring, the Vikings average 25.8 points a game, which is number 18. All right, looking at the total defenses for all four teams in the bye. The Baltimore Ravens are number 10 in yards allowed at 339.8. They are 11th. In fact, they're tied for 11th in rush yards allowed at 109. They're tied with the LA Rams. Baltimore's pass defense is 230.8 passing yards allowed. That's number 13. And they are the league leader in scoring defense, allowing 17.3 points a game. The Indianapolis Colts ranked number 3 in total yards at 288 yards allowed. They're also number 3 in rushing yards at 88.3 yards allowed. Passing yards, they lead the league at 199.7 yards allowed. And they give up 19.2 points per game, which is number 6. The Miami Dolphins are 18th in total defense, giving up 360.2 yards a game. 19th in rushing at 124.2. 17th in passing at 136, or rather 236. And their 18.8 points allowed per game ties them with the Steelers for 3rd. That's impressive. Then you have the Minnesota Vikings, 28th in total yards allowed at 413.7. Against the run, the Vikings rank 23rd at 127 yards per game. They are 30th against the pass at 286.7 per game. And they allow 32 points per game on the season. That's 31st, ahead of only the Dallas Cowboys. All right, third down conversion offense by the 4 teams in the bye. And it looks like the leader of those 4 would be the Baltimore Ravens, 42.1%, number 17. The Dolphins are 22nd at 40%. The Colts are at 39.2%, tied with Cleveland for 24th. And Minnesota is 26th in third down conversions on offense at 37.7%. The Dolphins lead the league in third down defense, 31.3%. The Vikings are third at 33.8%. Baltimore is fifth at 34.7%. And a little further down are the Colts at 40.5%. They're 12th. Fourth down offense among the bye week teams. Miami is tied for 9th at 75%. Baltimore is tied for 15th at 66.7%. Indianapolis is 17th at 62.5%. And Minnesota is tied for 24th at 50%. Fourth down conversions defensively. The Miami Dolphins are number 3 in the league at 30%. Baltimore is tied for 4th at 33.3%. Now I'm going to go further down the list to the Indianapolis Colts at number 22, tied with Jacksonville at 75%. And then in 26th is the Minnesota Vikings at 81.8%. And then average time of possession, you got the Miami Dolphins, number 7 in the league, averaging 31 minutes and 27 seconds. Followed by the Indianapolis Colts at 30 minutes, 51 seconds. They're number 10. Baltimore is number 16 at 30 minutes, 21 seconds. And the Minnesota Vikings are 30th in average time of possession at 27 minutes and 26 seconds. So those are my picks straight up and against the spread for week number 7. And I'm kind of having doubts about this week, especially the Detroit-Atlanta game. I'm kind of scared about that one. But all they can do is watch the games and hope for the best. Alright, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell twice every time I go live. This is Big Al signing off. Enjoy the pigskin, folks, and I will talk to you later. Peace out.